So we may as well just hang up the microphones.
Yeah, I'm already talked
Yo,
out.
guys, welcome to Future Role Model, a podcast that praises everything unconventional. Who knows what the conversation's going to go towards when we've already been getting to know each other for the last, half hour in real time.
Yeah.
But I'm here today in the studio for the first time since COVID struck us down.
Welcome back.
With James Webb
What
in
up?
the People of Comedy Network in Chicago, the only place I trust to be clean. LA is just dirty, dirty assholes.
Yeah.
And I am with him sitting across from Chris McKernan, aka Chris McKernan with no N on the end of it on Instagram.
It was taken.
It was taken, and
Yeah.
that's what we struggled with when I was like, "Is this your email?" And you're like, "Yeah, it's been a constant
Yeah.
life challenge." It
It's-
sounds like the struggle's real.
If you didn't get in early, you have to change your last name.
Yeah. I mean, how many Chris McKernans are there? Have you gone to
Apparently.
the other one and been like, what the fuck's up, bro?
I
Can I
actually
take your
have.
shit?
Yeah. I've sent some DM. One's like a photographer in like Oregon.
Is he doing well?
No, that's the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I think he has like a family, so yeah. But like, I don't think it's
Is
photography
that what
business.
doing well is?
Well, yeah, like
He has people that are searching for
spiritually,
him.
I think he's doing fine.
Okay, like on the whole.
I think he needs his IG handle.
Why did you not go Chris McKernan and a number?
How it works now though, once you type in Chris and then like MC,
Uh-huh.
it just pops up.
My hands are so sweaty. You see that? I'm just leaving like snail traces on your table.
Do you want the paper towel or something?
There's wipes.
I'm sweating. I was out until 2:30 last night in Chicago because even though everything shut down, somehow I managed to like find an alley to hang out in until 2:30.
Fuck yeah.
Chris, you've lived in Chicago for a year now, right?
Yeah.
From
I grew up in LA.
yeah.
So I moved around a bunch. But I grew
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But grew up in LA. But I was out in Michigan filming a show for Animal Planet.
That's how we ended up connecting on Instagram because I knew that you had something to do with this story, but I didn't know the story, and I liked the discovery in real time.
Oh yeah.
So I'm excited to hear about what your show was and what brought you to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you ended up moving here, and then COVID happened, and you were like, "Oh, I guess I'm just in Chicago now."
Yeah. Well, I love the city. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah. Had you been to Chicago before?
Yeah.
I assume if
I was born in Michigan, so
Okay.
did some quick trips, and
Yeah.
then I've studied at the Second City, currently in the conservatory program before it shut down.
Yeah. That's
So-
where I started 15 years ago.
Oh, is that right?
Fuck. That's like words I never thought that I would say out loud. And
Yeah.
then you blink and 15 years later, you're just like, what the fuck? It's
But no,
crazy.
I'm sure it's the same.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same and different at the same time.
Yeah.
Because the conservatory, when I was in it, there wasn't all the cool other things. It was like,
Oh, yeah, because now they have
there's
like a
so
film
much
school.
shit. Yeah, there's so
Like,
much shit. And you
it's-
have like access to a lot of things now. If you're a Second City person and
Yeah.
you're in the program, I think you can film shit there for free.
Really?
I don't know.
Damn,
I
you've
think-
heard it first.
No, but I'm just gonna put it out there and just tell everybody, go film your shit for free. But
Ew.
as an alum, when I was there, like 4 or 5 years ago, I'm really good friends with the former director of Second City.
Okay.
Like he remained my friend forever. And my grandma comes on tour with me because, well, James knows, he's met her. I got her story here in this studio last summer. But she was visiting me, and I got her to go like a backstage tour of Second City. And they walked me into the film room and were like, yeah, as an alum, you can just like sign up and use this shit. And I was like,
I didn't know
what?
that.
They don't like advertise it. They're gonna.
I'm sure not.
Somebody's gonna be mad at me.
Like, I'm sure that's the last thing they want.
But you can absolutely fucking do that. Like, it's a perk of having paid money to be in their conservatory program all these years. So just throwing that out there to you and your buddies. If you come up with a bunch of cool ideas, go shoot that shit, man.
Yeah. How did Grandma like Second City?
Grandma loved it.
Yeah.
Grandma loves anything that's outside the house.
Yeah.
It's like
That's awesome.
she's like a caged animal. Like when she's let out, she's like, oh my God, things, people, oh my God.
Right. That's cool though.
Yeah. How long did you live in Michigan when you?
I was born there, and then I think it was 3 when I left.
Okay. So you
So-
don't really have much recollection of.
No, but we always went there for like we've had a farm there for like 100 years. roundabout.
So you grew up a farmer too?
No. My like grandparents did.
Okay.
I like
You
bounced
just
around.
reaped the benefits of the farm industry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no. Like here's like it was just we didn't really use it for anything. It was just recently.
So it was land.
It was land along 94.
Okay.
So
it was farming air.
it was just like it's a beautiful farm. It's like 100 acres. It's great views of 94.
Yeah. Oh God, I
yeah.
love watching. My favorite pastime.
Yeah.
I mean, because I grew up in Wisconsin, and I would take 94 to Minneapolis when I went to school up there.
Yeah.
My favorite pastime was just pulling over on the side of the road and just watching 94.
Love it.
Just the fucking cars, man.
Skipping over the potholes.
All the potholes and like the trucks.
The trucks breaking
was
down.
so neat.
Meet new friends.
It was so fun. Yeah. Oh, I love truckers. They're
Yeah.
definitely the most honorable human beings.
Yeah. But no, like we would go there, or I have a big family, and we moved around like every 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd always go up to Michigan for the holidays, Christmas.
Yeah.
Other holidays.
How big is your what other holidays are there? You just literally
summer.
The whole podcast is going to be you just counting holidays. Dude, Valentine's Day,
Is that a holiday?
Easter. How big is your
Halloween.
family? Yeah, Halloween.
So cool.
Yes. You said you have a big family though. How big is it?
Big. I mean, yeah, I think I have a twin brother.
Uh-huh.
Brother, older sister. Dad, mom.
Yeah.
It's a big family, right? More than one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an only child.
We're all around the same age, like group, Not like one's not older than the other. So we're all like between 31 and like 37.
Are you and your twin brother
was
the
a
youngest?
C-section, baby?
Oh, yeah.
She didn't bang it out. So let's give some respect. The mom.
You're like, I don't want to picture that with my mom. I don't want to picture mom banging anything out.
But where were we? Birth.
Family size. Well, but you guys are like Irish brother or sister.
Well, my dad was adopted, so we're like adopted Irish.
Wait, what?
You know what I mean?
Is that for real? Your dad was adopted?
Yeah. But we grew up as like Irish. The name is adopted. Whatever that means.
But you actually are Irish. You know what I mean? Irish brothers or Irish twins are when somebody's like close in age, but not an actual twin.
Yeah, it's like definitely beautiful.
But you're actually Irish too, so I know that was multi-level confusing.
Yeah.
Chris McKernan, the Irish adopted family.
Adopted Irish.
Yeah. So you had a family farm, but you
Still
didn't grow up. You have a family and a farm.
Yeah.
Neither of them have one to do with the other.
No, they do. They do.
No, I'm just curious. I'm always curious about other people's like farm life because I grew up on farms.
Oh, really?
Like multiple of them.
Wow,
kind of.
Damn.
My grandpa had a farm in Wisconsin. It was like, how many acres was it? Probably a couple hundred of tobacco, soy, corn.
Yeah.
And then I worked on tobacco farms and then worked on a huge ass farm, like a petting farm and stuff for a while, and fed veal calves at a different farm. So I basically
I'm the opposite.
Farmed my whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Starting when I was 9.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I wish I could say that. It's a farm that wasn't growing anything. It was just chilling. To be honest, the farm was where they wanted to build 94. And the state was like, we'll give you this land if you just move your house.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
so they literally
God.
picked up the house and moved it to the side. And hey, I'm a farmer.
Yeah. You know what? And people don't know how easy it is to pick up and move a house. But
yeah,
that has happened in my family quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My grandparents acquired a home that it was in their garbage.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a semi truck had hit a house, really? And they got a new house. This is in the South where there's no basements. Like houses just sit on top of dirt.
It's like California.
Yeah. They just pick it up and put it there. And so the people got a new house with their insurance, and their damaged house was just chilling on the curb.
Wow.
And my grandma was like, you going to use that? And they were like, fuck no, man, take it.
Please
That's
take
how
it,
my
please.
grandparents got their house.
You know, you got to hustle in this.
You got to hustle.
You know, you see something, you take it.
You fucking go. And you're like, is that your trash? I'm about to live in that shit.
They refurbished it. I'm sure it looks lovely now.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah, it's a whole story in itself.
It's like a salvage car.
Yeah, it really is. It's like a classic, you know, like a...
Vintage. History.
Other words.
Past tense.
Past tense. So you lived in Michigan until you were like 3. And then what brought your family to California?
Pharmaceutical research. So...
Really?
That's what my dad
Some
did.
Boring ass shit like that is what you're going to throw at me?
Well, a lot of people assume since I moved around every 3 years, oh, your dad must have been in the Army. I was like, no, he was in like pharmaceutical research. So
there's always lots of pharmacies to hit.
Yeah.
Lots of research to do.
A lot of research.
Yeah. Every 3 years, I could see that just being a massive challenge.
You know, I think he just got sick
of the Midwest life.
Travel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we ended up in California.
Yeah. So.
Segue.
Yeah, right? The whole family.
Yeah.
You didn't leave anybody on the farm.
We didn't leave anyone. Everyone made it's like Oregon Trail. Everyone made it.
Nobody had
one destination.
God, what was the big disease on Oregon Trail?
Snake bite.
From the diphtheria. Dysentery.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was some fucked up shit. When we think back on Oregon Trail, it seems like a crazy thing, and then you have 2020 happening, and you're like, oh, it's not really that fucked up.
They called it.
Your covered wagon story got shit on my story.
I wish I had dysentery right now.
I would take dysentery. A little shitting on myself. I would shit on myself all year long to avoid what just went down. I would totally take that burden. But anyway.
It's been a weird year.
Yeah, it has been a fucking weird year. And we will get to that too, because I know you have plenty of things to share with your show and stuff. But with your move to California, did you, because you're an actor as well, did you start getting into like that field young? Not
till middle school.
That's pretty young.
But I was in California by the time I got into it, you know. And yeah, well, by the time I got into it, it was during like my parents' divorce, and I just needed an outlet to like express myself.
Yeah, of course.
So like I remember I'd go to football practice, and then afterward, ride my bike to Cal Lutheran University, and they had like a Shakespeare festival. Summer camp. Thing. And I would do that all summer. And that's kind of how I got into it. And then I did, theater in high school. Was your family into arts at all, or was it just pharmaceutical bitches? Not yeah. Not really. It was not a medical field mostly. Yeah. And then, I could understand why you'd want to get into something creative after that shit. I had to take chemistry like 3 times. I would never general chemistry. You're like, I want to take pills. I don't want to look at them anymore. I don't know. I remember my dad like teaching me, like, or trying to like prep me up for like a science exam, and it just did not register. Didn't register. I was just like, I can't. It was and I tried so hard. You ever try something so hard? Yeah, lots of shit. I've tried lots of shit. And then like you fail, and then like just see the disappointment in my dad's face because he spent all Sunday on one of his 2 days off to teach me, and I just didn't. You couldn't, like, you're just chucking the football and it's just going into the ground every time. A fumble. As I'm doing that, my Band-Aid's hitting me in my own finger, and it's like so gross feeling. Well, it was that was the last time he tutored me, so it was kind of like he gave up on you. Yeah, real quick. He gave up on you, and that's why you had to become an artist. Yeah. That's what happens to us. Yeah. Our parents are like, no, I just can't do it anymore. This is, you either got it or you don't. Right. So my dad's a smart guy. Yeah, clearly. He doesn't like to waste time. Yeah. He works with pills. You have to be pretty smart to do that. He actually works at the sanctuary now. The sanctuary? Mm-hmm. What kind of sanctuary? It's an animal. It's called Barn Sanctuary. So that's what we're using the farm now for. Yes. Yeah, which is the show that you came to Chicago for, essentially. Yeah. Well, I came to Michigan. Yeah. Well, I came to Chicago after we were done filming. Right. So when you ended up leaving Los Angeles and came to Chicago, like what was that whole chunk of time like? What were you doing in LA before coming here, before the show? And then we'll get to the show information. Yeah. So in LA, I was auditioning,
Just going through the actor fucking grind.
Just the grind.
I hate that grind. I hate that grind.
Yeah.
I actually want to vocalize that. I feel like I coach people through this all the time, but it's like people feel so stuck in that space and like their whole life is dependent on every audition and everybody else's decisions. And like we talked about before we started recording, you literally have no control over any of this shit. It's a bunch of egos running everything, and that's why I orchestrate my life the way I do, because I'm like, if I can control at least this little chunk, then I'm like, cool. It's a fucking rigmarole.
Yeah. Like you have to like be able like to go to an audition and know that it's just out of your control and just leave it laughing.
Yeah.
And I think that's like when you've unlocked, like, it's out of your control.
Yeah.
Because in LA too, like when you go on an audition and you say you like screwed up the dialogue or something.
Yeah.
Then you got to sit in your car for 2 hours in traffic and just let that soak in. Mm-hmm. And that just eats at you.
Yep.
So you have to be mentally, like, if going into acting has made me such a better person, just because it's made me like emotionally stronger. It's made me disciplined to like not go out drinking, like stay in, remember your audition lines. Like it's challenged me, and I love that. Like,
and it also makes you have to not you get ego checked real fast.
Yeah.
Like you can't can have an ego, like for sure lots of people do, but the thing that I see with people a lot of times is they'll get lucky, which is true. That happens sometimes to people that are especially young and fresh in Hollywood. They happen to get this big role and it happens to be a big show.
Yeah.
But if their ego gets out of check, they don't keep working.
Right. Or they don't want to. Like,
or they are just over it or whatever, or they don't appreciate it. Like, I love having gone through 15 years of fucking bullshit because it makes me just everything. I appreciate just good people.
Yeah. Like I once like was in an Axe audition room for the Axe body spray.
Oh yeah.
They were like, take off your shirt. And I was like, all right. And then they started laughing. And then I just
what?
Like, yeah.
What?
So the ego.
Ooh, they started laughing?
Yeah.
That's evil.
And they said, thank you for your time. I didn't get it. But it made really good like connections with the casting director.
Oh my God, that's like one of the funniest defeatist stories ever.
Yeah, that was like an early one.
Yeah.
So like real quick, I was like, all right, if I'm not mentally strong, it's gonna
be bad.
Yeah.
And it's
There's so many pretty people in LA.
There's me and my girlfriends talk about this. There's pretty people that are just natural, and then there's the other ones. There's the other ones.
What are they called?
The people that fuck with their faces too much.
Oh.
And it's
yeah,
so you have like this just like distinguishing line of like people that are just like pretty, and then people that are trying so hard to be something, and then they like destroy themselves. Like LA gets a bad rap for those people, I think, because that's like the reality show type.
It's kind of sad,
people. And it sucks because there is just like the thing that I always tell people about LA, I'm like, if you are just a chill person and you're like, LA is the laziest city ever. Like you can
the overcast, you don't like get out of bed till noon.
Well, and not even like that. I just mean like structure wise, like people are totally fine with you like coming to a meeting in fucking sweatpants as long as you know, like people don't really wear like on a daily basis like makeup and stuff.
Right.
Like, you know, the idea I think that people have of LA has been skewed because of a lot of reality TV, but it's actually pretty chill. Yeah,
my older brother would tell me like, oh, LA has like the worst people, but I really found a lot of nice people in LA because you know a lot of the times a lot of people from LA are from the Midwest or they weren't born in California.
Yeah, well actually people are from California are totally fine. It's like random ass people from like Utah that will come there and be like, I'm in LA, I gotta act like this, and then they do, and they're like,
oh yeah,
it's
that
wrong.
Quickly goes away.
It's wrong. Yeah, but I agree with you. There are a lot of good people in LA. It becomes pretty easy to find them when your intentions are like being around cool people.
Yeah.
there's a shit ton of them. There's a city with 9 million people. If you couldn't at least find like 10 cool people, you'd be like, fuck that.
Yeah. And there's going to be a lot more shitty people in a larger populated area.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a numbers game.
Yeah.
Like if there's 9 million people, there's probably like 2 million shitty ones.
Yeah.
But the other ones probably are like pretty close to okay. Pretty chill.
Everyone's stuck in traffic.
Yeah, right. So you had a couple experiences like that with the LA scene. Did you start stand up there or no?
Yeah. Well, I did a little bit, not enough to like get a traction going.
Mm-hmm. Stand up hasn't ever been your main thing though, right? It's just like an additive.
Yeah, okay. It's more just again, the stand up thing is more just personal growth, like just the writing and getting on stage and just it's been one of like the challenging things and coming. That's why I like Chicago's, because I can get on stage multiple times. Like they have so many open mics and everything going on in Chicago that
Chicago also just doesn't like, they don't judge. They're not judgy.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but like last night was my first time on stage in 6 months, which is crazy. Like that's unheard of. I don't think I've ever gone more than 3 days without being on stage in the last 10 years. And it felt weird a little bit, but also like fine. Like I didn't want to go up and do material that I've always done.
Right.
Like some people feel more comfortable doing that because they're trying to get their sea legs back. I'm like, I almost don't even remember my old jokes.
Right.
Or give a shit.
6 months.
Or give a shit. Like the last 6 months, a lot of shit has happened. So I just got up and talked about that. And, it just felt like 25% of a room was there and laughing and with it, Right. So it was just kind of
have to adapt though,
Mm-hmm. But like on my podcast that dropped yesterday, I had interviewed this girl, Claire Marie. She's a base jumper, and
is that when you jump off like a rock?
Buildings, stuff. Like she skydives as well. It's base jumping stands for buildings and stuff, etc.
That's so. She does that as like a profession.
Buildings and shit, etc.
How do you get hired? Like.
She does.
I should watch that.
So she thinks about, it was so cool talking to her because she thinks about her industry the same I do with comedy. Like base jumping isn't the thing that makes her, that's the thing that she got known for, but she's capable of doing all these other things. And because of that, she's a good creative director for like Red Bull or like major brands. Oh. And so she like shoots content and like content other people can't get because they don't do what she does.
Right.
And she's also hot, so that doesn't hurt as well. Like she models and stuff too. So she has multifaceted, and I kind of work the same way. But it was cool asking her about base jumping, and it kind of resonated with me as an actor, as a comedian. She said the reason that her numbers, or the reason why she's so safe in such a dangerous sport, is because she doesn't need it. She was like, I don't, like if I feel like the conditions are wrong, or like I don't have to put myself at risk. I will walk down or hike down and like not do the thing, because
that's very smart.
She's like, it's calculated. And if I feel like it's not the right timing or something's off, I just don't do it. And that's how I feel about entertainment. And so it kind of really resonated with me. I was like, oh shit. Yeah. Like I don't need it. It's just something that I really like.
Right.
But like it doesn't control me.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that too?
Yeah, I mean, like when we got done shooting for the show, it's not like I felt like I needed to get back to LA.
Mm-hmm.
I came to Chicago to develop more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the whole reason.
When you were in LA, did you start developing there because you wanted to have some control, like irons in the fire kind of thing?
Yeah.
What was that process like?
So in LA, I did 2 years at the Meisner at Ruskin School of Acting in San Monica.
That's the real shit.
That's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the first time where it opened me up.
Yeah? Can you describe a little bit of that? Because I never studied Meisner, but I know a lot of people that do, but a lot of people don't know what that is.
It's it makes you, like the first day I started crying because I remember this one exercise where
it pulls a lot of emotion. You pull from your actual experiences, right?
Yeah. And then you just
he's pulling it up.
Yeah.
The Meisner technique is an approach to acting which was developed by American theater practitioner Sanford Meisner. The focus of the Meisner approach is for the actor to get out of their head such that the actor is behaving instinctively to the surrounding environment. Yeah. It's a really good rundown of it.
It's a lot of eye contact. And when you don't, I was a very shy kid growing up and very, I never looked at someone in the eye, so it teaches you that and to like actually see them and like respond to them naturally rather than like wait for a beat. Yeah. And, your next line comes up, it's actually listen to the person, then deliver your line. Yeah. So I did that, and then I got a commercial agent, and then started, that was the whole game plan, was to get a commercial agent. So I was like, I could book one commercial a year.
You kind of look like the everyman.
Yeah. I mean,
that's a really positive thing in fucking acting. That's a huge thing. You could be anybody.
I'm kind of just there.
Yeah.
And I mean, a bank teller.
You could, I'm serious. You could be the mechanic. You could be the fucking IT guy. You could be anything. You could be a superhero.
I could be anyone.
You could be anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can be anything for love. That's not the song. I just made that up mostly.
Good. Maybe that's the intro song.
But I won't do every guy.
But it's we're good.
That was me, love.
Yeah. But no, it's I went out on a lot of auditions and then did that.
I want to backtrack for a second to the listening stuff because that was one of the coolest things that Second City taught me. My director, particularly Norm Hawley, because people actually say this to me, like with the podcast and stuff, and they're like, I really enjoy like your, like we talked about earlier, there's no agenda. The listening thing is such a unutilized tool for actually learning how to write. Yeah. When I was starting in Second City, I was struggling with dialogue. Like dialogue would feel like, and I'm going to say, it felt like sock puppety. It felt like.
It wasn't natural.
It didn't feel natural. And my director was like, go sit at Starbucks. Go sit there and just pretend like you're doing shit. And he's like, but just write all the conversations down that you're hearing.
Oh, that's a cool.
He's like, eavesdrop, write them down. Right when there's weird pauses. Write like how long the pauses were, if there is one.
That's it. Yeah.
And then like transcribe, and like it was fucking hilarious. Yeah. Because people naturally converse pretty poorly.
Oh, for sure. Like I've interrupted you like 10 times.
No, but that's just what people do. Yeah. They talk over each other, they interrupt, and the course of thought changes like that. Yeah. And so the more I noticed that, the more I was like, fuck. There aren't rules to writing dialogue, and it makes you such a good writer.
Right. That's a cool trick.
Yeah,
I like
it was awesome.
That's very cool.
Yeah. And so, so you were...
So you have a lot of recordings of random people's conversations? Just
fucking, like whiz-bys, like just pieces of... And still now, when I'm on my runs, like sometimes I'll just turn off my music for a bit and just catch little snippets of people's conversation. Oh. Because they don't think you're paying attention. Yeah. And those are the best. Those are the best. Yeah. That would actually be a really cool rap album if somebody just remixed a bunch of snippets of random drive-by conversations.
I'm sure that, I think
Chance the rapper, you want to make that happen with me? He's like somebody that would, I feel like.
Why not?
Yeah. But going back to the Meisner, like delving into that a little bit, like how did studying that open you up as a artist, as a creative, as a creator?
It's just making me feel comfortable with yourself? A lot of it's self-confidence and making being able to express yourself, especially when you go on an audition and you're in front of people you've never met before, and actually like adding emotion to the words. And it took a while. Like my first audition, I was it took so many failures.
Oh, yeah.
It still does.
Yeah.
Auditioning sucks.
Auditioning's terrible.
But I think that's just, it makes you better. Like, just, because it sucks because if you don't prepare enough, there's no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Really, the key to auditioning good is being rich, so you don't give a fuck about the audition, because when you don't care about it, you get it.
Yeah. I know. And that's the only ones I've booked. honestly.
Well, same.
Yeah.
If I'm just like, I don't even want to do this, I book it.
Yeah.
And if there's ever anything that I'm like, oh, I'd really like to get this role.
Right.
Definitely fucked.
Yeah.
Just fuck myself. I mean, probably not as much anymore because I just like really care so little about a lot of things now.
Right.
I mean that in a really good way.
Yeah.
I mean that in a good way though. Like I don't put any weight on anything.
Yeah.
You know, not that I like don't give a fuck, but
yeah, when you first start out, everything is very important. Or getting into SAG is the biggest deal, but it's really not. Like, it's like so every like checkpoint you know kind of create for yourself isn't as important once you get there.
Yeah, it's like everything matters, but nothing's important.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
It's kind of an easy, like, chill way to look at things. Because then you're just like, okay, well, that matters, but, like, whatever.
Yeah. Set the bar low.
Yeah. Set the bar as low as possible so you can always just step over it.
Yeah.
Just step over it.
Just going to skip over it.
So what was your process getting into the producing? Because I did that too young in my career because I was like, man, if I don't have my hands in, like, all these pots, I'm not going to... I don't know how I'm going to add value to my own shit.
Right.
And
so you kind of just build different
skills. Like it's kind of just building all these skill sets where you're like, all right, well, not only am I pitchable to people as who I am, but now I can also do all this other cool shit too. Yeah. And it makes you valuable.
Yeah. And it's like, as long as you enjoy, learning different parts of that, like I just started teaching myself After Effects. Like starting editing and stuff like that.
Dude.
And
James knows.
Yeah, it's like really cool
After
stuff.
Effects is really cool.
Yeah. And like it's all like all the lessons are on YouTube, the skill, and it's
free school and education is on YouTube.
Hey, that's what I've been doing.
You just got to be careful who you watch the channels of.
I learned how to do everything I know how to do.
It's really cool shit. I can put my,
YouTube is phenomenal. Yeah. My television broke last week and I fixed it from fucking YouTube.
Yeah. No, yeah.
You don't need a guy anymore. You got a screwdriver and a fucking internet connection.
All that said, I am starting a production and Photoshop class in here, so please pay me money.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just knocked his business plan.
Literally, though, James, anything he does, I put my stamp of approval on. He's the fucking best.
But also, if you can't afford it, YouTube exists, so go for it.
Just record the lesson, upload it to YouTube.
Some people
paid off those views, baby.
Right? Yeah. Some people, though, as we're learning with this, like, all this continued education on Zoom and shit. Oh, yeah. Some people do not function well without somebody just legitimately
Sometimes
saying,
you need a
here,
hand.
take this and do this and put this here. And you're like, okay. Like, some people fucking need that.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah, that's totally me.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
But, like, some people need to come to James because they can't fucking handle the YouTube stuff. So come to James if you can't handle YouTube.
Starting in October.
You're the best. He's the best.
Do you have a URL?
No, it's literally just come into this room and I'll teach you.
.com.
You come into this room and I'll teach you.com. Buy that. If there's anything that I know, buy all the domains. Yeah. I own so many domains.
Yeah, my brother did. I think he still does it. He just buys a bunch and then sells them. And
I buy so many domains that GoDaddy actually reached out to me, asked me to partner with them, and then I repitched them that I wanted to partner in a different with their, like, essentially they're gonna help me launch my startup. Right. But like, that's how much I'm on GoDaddy.
Wow. That's crazy.
Shameless plug to GoDaddy. You're welcome. You're fucking welcome. Hey, that was free.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean, it's like it's a cool thing that I like to tell people is the mentality of teaching yourself and becoming a resource for yourself and a resource for others makes it so you don't just have one reliant stream of income, one reliant like career path. You have all these things that you bring to the table. Yeah. And then you can do more shit. Yeah, it's just the way to make entertainment less like, what the fuck is happening kind of shit.
Yeah, you're not sitting around staring at a door. For
real. And I know people that do that. They're just like waiting for something to come and you're like, what? That's not fun.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not cool. It's not fun.
Waiting for anything sucks.
This isn't fun anymore.
We're waiting for life to return and we all know what that feels like.
Yeah.
But so what spurred you into like starting the creative process for your show? First of all, tell people what your show was.
So it wasn't a lot of it was, so the show was called Saved by the Barn. on Animal Planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's about my twin brother started an animal sanctuary on the farm in Michigan, and he did such a good job with social media and all that stuff. He got onto the Ellen Show.
Mm-hmm.
So he was featured on that, and that's what kind of grew the attention of production companies.
So what was the animal sanctuary's purpose?
So it rescues neglected animals, abused animals, and provides them just a very safe space where they just live on their life. They don't get murdered. And they do. A lot of them have disabilities.
It's like the anti-farm.
Yeah. Yeah. I should be calling it sanctuary. But,
yeah.
No, it's like an animal heaven.
Yeah.
And there's a staff, amazing caregivers that.
So like think Tiger King, but opposite.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, and I'm pretty sure they use that as a pitch.
Yeah.
For, like, advertising
yeah,
the show.
That's like the easiest thing you could possibly go into a room and say, hey, Tiger King?
Yeah.
Opposite of that.
Opposite.
Yeah. Like good people.
Yeah.
Keeping things alive.
I know. And so the fact that, and then we shot a pilot for it. So the production company could submit to networks.
Cool.
And that was probably like a year and a half before it got picked up. So we did it, and then
and go through the process of what shooting the process is like, because all this stuff is so much work. I don't think people realize that, but even like, when I tell people I shot my comedy special last year and we're just now finally like closed out the distribution deal and like delivering the deliverables to the company and like all this, there's so much time and energy that goes into just like getting a pitch.
Yeah. We were lucky where the production company did all that.
Yeah.
We didn't have to do that.
Oh,
so
fuck you. Go fuck, just leave.
But it sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. I had to start a production company twice to do all this work myself.
Yeah.
So I know.
I mean, they could like start, but.
Derail.
The pilot, it kind of was pitching just like
when it all came about, was it more just your brother got the exposure and there was interest, so you had to shoot something, and so then the production company then came in and was like, let us help you do that, let's facilitate.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Just he has so many people follow. If you follow Barn Sanctuary, so many people follow it, so it already had this huge following.
What's the following ish?
I don't.
Like 100,000s?
I don't know. It's a lot. Like
Barn Sanctuary. At Barn Sanctuary?
Yeah. Let's pull it up.
Yeah, he's pulling it up. But yeah, I mean, the following itself, is that it?
That's the website.
That's the website.
The Instagram will have a lot.
Yeah.
But
Twitter's dwindling. Twitter.
That's a lot.
That is a lot on Twitter.
21K?
That's solid. Nobody's gonna shit on 21,000.
Is that 152?
Dang.
So it.
It's cool though. I mean, it's cool to see something that's actually like doing. So is Dan your brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Danny boy.
So how did you get looped into it? Were you a part of like the creation of this sanctuary?
I was part of the pit. No, the sanctuary wasn't.
Okay.
I would help out. It's just I would help out when they were starting up the sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Just, because it's grown so much. Like all the structures are new. So a lot of it was getting rid of a lot of shit that was on the farm from past, generations.
Yeah.
So I was just part of the pitch of, hey, if, he has a twin brother.
Mm-hmm.
He does comedy in LA. Let's put him on the show. Like, he doesn't know anything about how a sanctuary runs, because I honestly don't.
Right.
It's a crazy. And so the fact that I was able to go out to Michigan, shoot a show with my family, do improv, was like the dream setup.
It really is.
I was like
that.
Dope. I'll do this for the next 10 years.
Yeah, that's
this
great.
This will be sick. I get to see my family.
Yeah.
I get to do what I love, comedy, and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start thinking like that,
when you think everything's going to work out a certain way, it just doesn't.
It just doesn't
work that way.
You know?
It's like good to envision that and to see what you might want or to know what makes you happy, because you can tell because you're fucking happy.
Yeah.
But then at the prospect of it, you know.
I was too happy.
Yeah.
I should have known.
That's a great... when it's going well, you're about to get fucked.
That's going to be the motto for this episode.
That's a new intro for this podcast as well.
2020.
When it's going like you think it's supposed to go, you're about to get fucked.
It was just a beautiful setup. Like I was... And it could still be. So...
Yeah.
You know. But, so if you haven't, if you don't know by now, we got canceled after 1 year.
You got canceled, which in these days, that could mean a lot of things, but you got legit canceled, not like internet canceled. Yeah.
But it was...
Can you talk about that process? Because I know how gut-wrenching it is when you, like we talked before the podcast, but like when you're on a holding deal or you're on a shopping deal with a network and like things just fall through or something might get bought and then it gets shelved and it's like you spent all this time creating this like baby.
Yeah. Well,
your brainchild. And
while you're doing it, you're attached, so you can't really do anything else.
Do other things, yeah.
So you're kind of just... it's one of those things it's in the back of your head where you're like, all right, I kind of knew midway through the season that the network wasn't really
gonna go through with it.
Yeah, just because during Shark Week they sent the sanctuary a lobster cooking set. And this is a sanctuary where everyone's vegan and no one kills anyone. So that's kind of when I knew Animal Planet
nobody kills
didn't
anybody.
Really know what was going on.
Wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it also be funny if like you're just saving all these animals and then everyone's just murdering each other?
We only kill people here.
We only kill people on the animal sanctuary.
It was super I remember seeing it on the porch and Dan was just like, look what Animal Planet sent us. It was just like this huge cooking pot where you just kill lobsters.
And you were like, great.
I was like, in the back of my head, I'm like, God, they aren't on board. It was kind of weird.
That's interesting. And I know we talked about earlier if you could or could not say stuff about Animal Planet, but the thing is, there's such a thing as not burning bridges, right? Like you wouldn't ever, but there's also a thing where you have to like, people need to understand like pieces of this industry and how fucking ruthless it can be.
It's a numbers game.
It is. It's a numbers game. It's like rolling the dice on the people that you're going to have to work with once you get through the numbers hurdle in the beginning. Yeah. Like you get attached to certain people and some of them totally are great and some of them might suck. Yeah. Like really bad.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like it grew so much awareness for the sanctuary for the animals that or just their whole
and that was really
vision.
The purpose.
Yeah. So it's like it was like it didn't feel like they were rooting for us. Animal Planet was kind of like,
which is weird because why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Like when the public is and you guys are actually doing something good.
We were too happy on the farm. There was no drama.
This is I
should have gotten arrested.
Fucking smacked your dad. Next time, just punch dad.
Papa.
Papa. I'm sorry.
Get over here.
But it has to be like this way for the Animal Planet people.
Or I should have gotten married.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing.
And then divorced.
With reality, like it's a necessity. Like they expect that there will be something fucked up. It's not a successful show if everybody's just chilling and things are going well.
We're just saving animals and just too happy.
Yeah, I mean, and like one of my favorite shows, I don't watch any reality, but like HGTV stuff.
Okay.
I love Treehouse Hunters or Treehouse Masters.
Right.
I think there's two of them, but
I heard a lot about that.
I just fucking love tree houses.
That's when they build tree houses, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one.
I've seen like the final product. They look pretty dope.
They're awesome.
Just because
I would live in any of them. Like I love.
It's like the Instagram
being in
photos
trees and dangling from shit. Like I just love that shit.
Yeah.
I love really tall chairs.
So it's like a full episode, just a finished treehouse
from start to finish of them like planning it and prepping it and like they don't want to hurt the tree.
But they build it with wood, right?
They build it with wood.
Oh.
But they don't want to hurt the tree that the wood is sitting on.
So, okay. Cool.
It's kind of like cutting off a leg and giving you a finger. But yeah. But it is really cool.
But yeah, so you always wonder, like a show like that, how long has that been going on?
8 years at least.
Yeah.
Because I started, I don't know. It's been a while. I'm just making up numbers. If I'm being honest, I pulled that out of my ass, but it might be right.
And we could get picked up by, it could be shopping around.
So what was the process like of Animal Planet picking that up? And like, did they come and film more than just the pilot, or did they just buy the pilot and they were planning to make a whole season?
It happened very quick.
Yeah.
So like I was in LA and then got the contract. And then like after the contract, I canceled the lease, jumped on a plane back to Michigan, and started filming like a week after that.
Oh shit. That's fast.
Very quick.
Dude.
So I know when they make a decision, they're very...
Yeah, they go for it.
Yeah.
Well, and filming shows like that for networks is pretty cheap.
Oh, yeah.
The crews are skeleton crews.
Skeleton crew.
And I don't know. I'm getting better at getting people to open up about numbers in life in general. Right. But like, and I don't know what you'd be comfortable sharing, but like as...
Year one, you're not killing it.
Huh?
Year one, you're not killing it.
Yeah, you're not. Unless it becomes a huge success and you have an ability to negotiate.
Right. It's like an investment.
Was the bonus that you and the family get to be on it together, so you're all making money, the sanctuary is getting funded, like that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Like, I mean, the sanctuary benefits off of, like, merchandise, like, kind of like the back end stuff.
So exposure.
Yeah. And, their whole... mission statement and stuff like that. The whole point was to get awareness. Mm-hmm. It was definitely a bonus to do with my family. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't really think about, I thought, take the investment, let's just get it year two and just take it, year by year. And that was the whole goal. I didn't really think too much.
How long did you guys shoot for before you were canceled?
We shot 6 months.
Oh, so you shot a whole season.
Yeah.
You did shoot a whole season.
So they aired all the episodes.
Okay.
You can pick it up on Amazon. It's called Saved by the Barn, kind of like Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. I assume that was the play.
Yeah. But it's...
Do you have a bird in there named Screech and like... a really like...
No. I mean...
like a...
No. I got attacked by Roy. It's a rooster. That was like the big...
Roy, that was the drama?
That was the drama. It was because I'm terrified.
No, roosters are mean, and so are geese. Geese are fucking dicks.
Yeah.
You don't fuck with birds. And I get it because they don't have a lot to work with,
Right, just let them be.
But they get to fly, so they also like...
Yeah.
They're killing it, But they're angry.
Yeah. Roy.
What are some personal animal experiences that you had that were positive or negative or whatever?
Well, a lot of it was like sometimes it would get frustrating because I'm on the sanctuary surrounded by a lot of people that know what the fuck they're doing, and sometimes you kind of feel like you're an idiot because it took me forever to learn how to open a gate. Just because it was like
they're complicated.
Does it go in? Does it go out?
Yeah, it's like really fucking hard shit. Like, does the flap turn this way? Do I have to reach around? They have the reach around gates. Those are pretty common.
How do you wrap the chain?
Sometimes you gotta flick it underneath.
Sometimes you gotta get creative. And then just walk away.
And sometimes they're squeaky. Yeah.
So a lot, and then like there was like, why do we measure grass? That's a thing.
You measure it?
Yeah.
For fucking what?
For managing the pasture for like, because the animals eat it.
Yeah.
So you want to like rotate pastures. I learned a lot. I'll give it that.
Shit.
I didn't know this.
Measuring grass?
Measuring grass.
I never thought that I would hear somebody say that, oh man, COVID. I really miss the days when we used to measure fucking grass.
Yeah.
Man, we used to have some good times on the farm measuring grass and shit.
Back in the day.
Now we're just stuck at home.
Now we just look at grass.
Did any animals ever attack you?
Not just Roy.
Just Roy. Yeah. Just a rooster.
Yeah.
The only animal that's ever attacked me. Oh, actually, I've been attacked by quite a few animals.
Why?
I don't know.
Where?
I put my face near things way too often.
It's awful. They go for eyes.
Yeah. I got bit by a dog.
Okay.
My eye scar is from a statue of a porcelain cat, so it's not a real cat, but it's still an animal.
Whoa.
My eye scar?
No, you can't tell.
You can't. Oh, I feel like people ask me about it all the time.
We're in a dark room,
just
a
bunch of just vain people.
Yeah.
But I was bit by a donkey at a live manger scene.
Oh.
I was dressed like an angel in an outfit that my mom made out of only pipe cleaners. And I was trying to feed this fucking donkey who was guarding Jesus.
Wow.
And he bit my hand and wouldn't let it go. And my mom thought he ate it. Turns out it was just fine because it's a donkey. Their teeth only cut grass.
Imagine if your hand
at a live manger scene, I got bit by a donkey.
I mean, yeah.
That's fucking funny. I forgot about that.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you.
They got a strong kick in the back.
What?
They can kick backwards.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't want to get behind one of those.
Mm-mm.
So.
That was, yeah.
So, I mean, what was their whole deal with canceling you guys? Did they give you any explanation or?
I don't know. No.
Really?
Yeah, no. It was because.
They just didn't renew.
So,
when did that happen?
That happened a month ago.
Oh, okay. So were they filming through?
No,
COVID?
we weren't filming.
Okay, I didn't think so.
And you kind of like
you kind of could have technically because it's on a secluded farm.
Yeah.
With animals.
If you were gonna do it, it probably would have been the safest area to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's where I went when things hit the fan. I went to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Because there's space.
So much space.
Lots of space.
Mm-hmm. You kind of know, it's just like lack of communication, and then like them sending that lobster cooking kit.
Yeah.
Just kind of had a feeling they just weren't on board, and
what was the rejection like for you? Like what did they?
It sucked. Just
did they send
Dan
an email?
No, Dan he called me, and I remember it was just all right.
Kind of like a death call.
Kind of used, if anything, LA, like the audition process.
Uh-huh.
Like you're kind of used, like you hope it doesn't happen, but you have to be prepared if it does.
Well, and also just train yourself that any sort of yes you ever get is already a positive. Like it didn't fail.
Yeah. Like the fact that we got a show on in the middle of the Midwest in a small town was unbelievable.
Were you like hometown heroes?
I mean, it helped the exposure of the town. Yeah. No, I mean, it definitely, it's a nice little town, Chelsea, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, so there was a lot of good exposure. I was like ready to just be there for a bit.
Yeah.
So I didn't want it to,
Did you move to Chicago so you could be local for that? And you just didn't want to live in Michigan?
Yeah. I'm kind of waiting out to see if another network picks it up.
Mm-hmm. You hear that, network peeps?
Yeah.
What network would you wish it would be on if you were to keep it alive? Do you have like
the dream, you want Netflix, something where, just
something where they don't cancel.
Well, with Animal Planet, to watch the show, you have to have cable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so you can't stream it. You couldn't stream it.
What about like Discovery or?
I think Discovery's owned. Or Discovery owns Animal Planet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oops.
I think Nat Geo.
Oh, yeah.
Nat Geo would be dope.
Nat Geo would be good.
Oh,
I actually know a producer that works with Nat Geo.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Ben, pick this up. I'm waving as if he can see me. Hi, Ben. But and he,
So the whole process, because I knew, like, once it got canceled, I was like, I just love being around family.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of like it. When I was in LA, I'd come home for like the holidays once a year.
Mm-hmm.
And for 6 months, I got to
really. Oh my God, I go home way too often.
Really?
Yeah, I love my family a little bit too much.
I do too. I love my family.
I come to Chicago as often as I can. Well, because I love it here. Because I used to live here, and I have they're close. They're 2 hours north in Wisconsin.
Nice.
So usually when COVID wasn't a thing, Grandma would be here with me right now. She's coming down Friday, so she's gonna come down Friday and have some beers with me.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. we're taking the risk. You know, James knows this, but Grandma wants to die, so she's willing. She's willing to take the risk, and I'm willing to let her, because
sounds like she doesn't fuck around.
No, if she goes out from COVID, she will not care. It would be sad, but also I'd be like, all right, she finally got her like biggest wish.
Right.
You know,
she did what she wanted.
Yeah, she did what she wanted to do, and she died doing it.
There you go. That's all there is.
You know, we got to just take risks sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, did this bond you guys, or did it make it hard when the cancellation happened? Did it like rip it up, and or what was the kind of overall family reaction?
No, it definitely like bonded. Like it definitely bonds. Like, because I saw them every day. Like my older brother, older sister they all live in that town.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's fucking cool.
It was like I wanted it. I wanted to go for another 5 years, because it was just. I love hanging around those people. Yeah. And
I want to help you get this picked up somewhere.
It's got to. It was a lot of fun. It's just hard to,
to let it go.
Yeah.
So this year, I mean, because everyone has their own ride of 2020, right? Mm-hmm. This has been not a great year for anyone by any means, but also
it's been super not chill.
It's been super not chill, and like more just shit keeps happening. Like nothing surprises me anymore. I'm like, there are tornadoes and the South is flooded. Oh, and my home is probably on fire in Los Angeles. Sure, that sounds about right.
I know. I was in no rush to go back to LA.
No, and I just like, and I even being here, I'm like, man, I just want to like fucking kick it for the rest of the year. All my shit's in storage because I went through a split in January.
Right.
So I'm like, what I can literally live with 5 things at this point. I know I'm fully capable to not have like a dresser.
Yeah.
There's something freeing about that. But through this year, your journey obviously is been its own thing, because you had such a good start to the year with a show. And then now you're in a new city, kind of just trying to meet people, I guess.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's hard because I moved here like in the winter.
Yeah.
And everyone's sheltered in.
Yeah. Oh, what a terrible time to move to Chicago.
I know.
It's great in the summer.
It was so cold.
Oh, it's so fucking cold.
Yeah.
I forget how cold it is, but in February 2019, I was here playing. And I said yes to playing at Zany's, thinking, I used to live in Chicago. I'm going to be fine.
Yeah. Goes right through you.
That was when the vortex was happening, the winter vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was negative 40. Like, you don't even know what your skin feels like at that temperature. It just feels like it doesn't even exist on your body. It just turns off.
I didn't even know what a vortex was.
I didn't know either, but it's bad. I don't ever want to be in one
again. They tell you not to go outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at how much we had to not go anywhere this last year and a half. Jesus Christ. But, so, yeah, I mean, what has it been like trying to just navigate a city that you're freshly moved to with this newfound show, then not a show in COVID?
Yeah.
Your experience.
Feeling great. No, it's.
I just wanted to drill all those gnarly things into you.
Everything you were wishing for came apart. I think it's growing up, I moved around a bunch, so I can pretty much adapt, to new places and different people and different backgrounds. So I'm not really. It's easy for me to pick up my bags. I live light, so I can pick up my bags and kind of go wherever I want and kind of get settled in.
Yeah.
What's been hard is just like everyone being on lockdown.
Yeah.
The winter and then COVID and then just trying to make connections. So that I think that's been the hardest part.
Yeah, just the social side of things.
Yeah. So you just kind of have to bunker down though and just kind of ride it out. But yeah, if I didn't move around so much growing up, it would have been hard.
I know. I know.
Like, this isn't a normal circumstance.
No, I mean, none of it is.
So it's kind of like.
None of it is.
But, the whole industry is pretty much shut down right now. So I think it's starting to pick up a bit.
A little bit, yeah. And, and there's just other ways to be creative about doing stuff. I really think that you guys have, even if like, even if a network weren't to pick you guys up, you could probably get a team to come and do it and like just do a series on your own.
That's what I was, because you have YouTube.
Did you sell the idea or did you hang on to the rights to it?
I'm pretty sure the production company has it.
The rights.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're awesome. It's High Noon.
Yeah, High Noon's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're fixer-upper.
Fixer-upper. You could probably do HGTV with this show.
Why
too.
not? Just throw it anywhere.
Just,
put it on ESPN.
You can build something in the background.
Well, yeah. What's also weird though is
ESPN turn it into a sport.
What's weird? It's like you'd have a show air that's all about like saving animals and not eating them, and then like the commercials would be like McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Welcome
double.
to our fucking world.
It's just like,
I talk with people about this all the time because people will totally advocate, especially in LA. This is like this irks me bad. But people would be like, yeah, I'm vegan and I don't eat. But then they're like wearing like this outfit, for example. This ridiculous jumpsuit is from a company called Shein. Uh-huh. And it's for sure not made in good conditions.
Oh, right.
Like, definitely.
Yeah.
But I do shop there sometimes because it's like $12.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm open about that. It's like I try to be pretty sustainable with stuff. I try to like buy from people that I know are ethically sound, but like what was
great about the show though is we never even mentioned veganism. Mm-hmm. Like it was just kind of implied.
You're right, because you're hanging out with animals.
Yeah, so I think that was the cool, like the sanctuary never pushes it on people. They just want to have an open conversation.
Oh, so they're like a good church.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll just be at your front door every other day.
You don't have to shove everything down everybody's throat.
No, I think that's what was so appealing. And Dan's on social media all the time, and he never says you should do that or
Yeah.
People just see like cows running in an open field, and they're
frolicking.
Like,
real happy cows.
Yeah.
They lie to you. They say all the happy cows are in California, and they're not. I don't even see any cows. I don't think cows live there.
No. It's me mid-California.
Yeah, it's mostly just coyotes and pigeons.
No. Yeah, a lot of.
So in a perfect world, because you had this opportunity, would you say that this is like definitely what you'd want to focus on, working with your family, or would you still want to be like on a show regular?
I want to find a way to combine the two. I think there's a great opportunity for that. And I think you have to, find your market. And for me, I think it's great that I have a whole new following in an animal sanctuary community that I didn't have before the show. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think there's an opportunity to like grow awareness, be with my family, and still do what I love.
Yeah.
I think the more things you love doing, the better.
Well, exactly.
What
if you ended up getting cast on a new series that was a dark comedy version of Dexter where he kills animals?
Man, I mean,
What would be your moral dilemma then?
I'm not going to answer that just because the show could still get picked up.
Right? You're just like two completely
what
different
a wild
people.
show, though. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I know. What could an animal possibly do?
We got Joaquin Phoenix played the Joker, and he's a vegan.
I know. Yeah.
But he's not killing animals.
No, just people.
Oh, yeah.
Just
people.
Douchebags.
Getting rid of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Acting.
Well, this took a turn. Sorry, that was my fault.
What was the name of the show
That
again?
was my fault. What, the new show that I just made up?
Yeah.
Duckster.
Duckster. Making a comeback.
Just a duck murderer by night.
Those fucking birds. What a weird concept.
He's just
the
mad.
writer's just like hates birds. Fucking.
That's a real thing. I have so many friends that hate pigeons.
Yeah.
A lot.
Why?
Because they're just annoying and
just
dirty.
there.
They're just there. Yeah. What's your least favorite animal to work with?
Rooster.
Who is the stupidest? Turtles are pretty dumb.
I'm trying to think. Well, all animals are very intelligent. Like IQ wise? Oh, probably Clemens. Or not Clemens, that was my old dog, he died. Mac, old age.
A dog?
Yeah. Mac is pretty he's just very ditzy. Like very
It's funny that can be a thing, but some dogs are pretty ditzy.
Like he's pretty just kinda like in La La Land.
What's the most surprising thing about an animal that you've discovered working with them?
When you look a pig in the eye, like the eyes look like human eyes. A pig.
Oh, really?
It's bizarre.
What?
Yeah. Like, like their eyes are...
James, pull it up.
It's the coolest fucking thing ever.
Whoa. So it's like...
And they're... I think that pigs are smarter than dogs. They've done
Pigs are extremely smart. They're really fucking smart.
It's the most beautiful thing.
Damn.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
They built the sanctuary, built a pig barn on the land. So they have basically a house full of pigs.
That's
like
cool.
Heated floors.
No, they're like super fucking
Isn't
cool
that crazy?
animals. That looks like a person. It's like a wise person.
The bottom one is Donald Trump. So.
Oh my God. That one's less attractive.
Yeah.
Pig eyes versus Trump's eyes.
Jeez.
I love how much time people have on the internet. Like, what?
I know. I love people.
Just like fascinating. I love people even when
hilarious.
They're terrible.
People are funny.
am super entertained by even terrible humanity sometimes. 'Cause I'm just like, how are you?
Sometimes you need that dark humor.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Just to like lighten up a bit.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all that some people are just fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, I've just made peace with that a long time ago.
Yeah. You can be fucked up on the internet.
And then any other random animal facts that like surprised you?
No, I mean it's cool to see animals just kind of chilling throughout the day. It's kind of bizarre, like they're not like caged in or anything, like.
Yeah.
So nothing like scientific facts. It's been.
What do you gather? That their inner thoughts are like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here now, and then I'm gonna lay down, and
like they kind of just chill. Like it's
instinctual.
They're definitely less stressed than humans.
Well, yeah.
They,
there was something that whose quote was this? It was somebody badass, but they were basically saying that like a lion. Yeah, something about stress in cats.
Yeah.
And like how they're only stressed when they need to like fucking eat.
Right.
Other than that, they don't stress about anything. And you're like, well, that should really tell you something.
Yeah. So I think it's helped with like declutter my brain being out on the sanctuary. That's why I like it so much that we were able to like do it, film and do what I love, and also be on the farm, because it really does. When you go out to the sanctuary, it like really declutters your brain.
Yeah.
Beautiful sunsets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's just being out of the city.
and just time, because I even felt like that being in Wisconsin for the 3 months, like the first 3 months of quarantine, just like. There are no schedules or agendas that even mattered at that point. Mm-hmm. It's like anything that I was stressing out about was something that I just created.
Yeah.
So it's like, if I created that thing, then does it really have a deadline? And like, if today grandma wants to hang out, should I hang out with grandma? Mm-hmm. Or should I fucking do this thing that has a fake deadline?
Right.
Now we can push that thing a couple days.
Yeah.
And so like that was really, really helpful for me as a person to just be like, people that you like a lot in life matter so much more than these fucking fake timelines that you made up.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that I could imagine how that would be a really like cathartic.
Yeah. A lot of time to think. Mm-hmm. Like definitely like it will I don't want to go off tangent, but like it was the the whole COVID thing.
We're wrapping up soon anyway.
Made me realize like, oh, people can die of like, it made me realize I'm gonna at some point I'm gonna die.
Your own mortality.
Yeah, and that's been like that hit home, and like I remember like I was out here, I like drove back to Michigan, and I wanted to be with family just because like. Mm-hmm. And it was crazy. And it like scared me that like I don't know what's gonna happen after we die, and like why are we stressing out so much?
And just kind of the moment to moment stuff. Like I remember, so every Sunday while I was home for those 3 months, I was going on bike rides with my dad. More days than that, but definitely on Sundays we'd do long ones. And there was a couple of times I was riding on my bike behind him, and I just kept thinking, I'm outside. I'm hanging out with my dad. This is the fucking best thing ever.
Yeah.
And I was legitimately, without having to tell myself I was grateful, was actually grateful for those moments.
Yeah.
Like, real gratitude is something to really pay attention to when you feel it, because it's not, a lot of times we're having to coax ourselves into it, like, be thankful, write a gratitude list, all that kind of stuff. But like having those real moments of being like, fuck, man, like down to the core of my being right now, I feel really grateful.
Yeah.
That is like an unbelievable feeling.
Yeah. So that's basically the show.
Yeah.
For me, that was the show.
Yeah.
Was having that feeling while we were filming for 6 months, and
Yeah.
So that's what I loved about it.
Well, I think you'll get the show back on the air. I really do.
I think we will.
I think you will.
I'm
going to connect you with somebody when we get off.
Okay, cool.
That you should know. That. He's legitimately one of my favorite human beings on the planet.
Nice.
And this is his total nugget.
Cool. Dope.
So go ahead and just plug your socials and your stuff and whatever you want to plug for the peeps.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everyone. Instagram's Chris McKernan. No N at the end. Some asshole took it from Oregon.
Everybody message at Chris McKernan and tell him to let go of his. This is Chris.
Look at that.
Look at that smile.
See, look, I even Jaff, Junior Associate Farmer at Barn Sanctuary. I created that job title.
What is it called? Junior Associate Farmer? Mm-hmm. You're the Jaff, man. You're the Jaff, brah. And the Animal Sanctuary, obviously, is the barn at Barn Sanctuary. Go ahead and give that a follow. 152.1 thousand followers now that James just followed you.
Yeah. Oh, good looking out.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable place. And
yep.
If you're ever traveling on 94 throughout Michigan, stop on by.
That's cool. Yeah. I actually will come.
Yeah.
Grandma would love the fuck out of coming to your farm.
Yeah, bring her.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
Grandma can't get the COVID from the cows.
As
hard as she may try.
And obviously they don't even know COVID's happening. Yeah, the animals.
Dude, and did you hear about the guy that was like on his own personal exploratory retreat and he missed COVID and all the murders this summer?
Oh.
He was hiding in the woods.
He was like disconnected.
And he was unplugged, and he came the fuck out of his. He came the fuck out of the woods and was like, "What?"
Wow, could you imagine?
It's one of the fucking craziest stories ever. And then of course he's like, been on a bunch of talk shows and stuff now, but like, yeah, he fucking came out of hiding into a destroyed world.
Probably went just right back.
He was like, "What?" How funny is that? It's like reverse Nell.
Yeah. Yeah. That's bizarre.
And you guys can find me at NPH Comedy, at Future Role Model for the podcast, Role Model Pod on Twitter, NPH Comedy on Twitter, whatever the fuck. Follow whatever you want to, but, or don't, or just ridicule me from a distance. I don't care what anybody does. Whatever you do, make it awesome for yourself. Any closing remarks?
Hope everyone's healthy. We'll get out of this sooner or later.
I like how your voice kind of shakes on it. I hope everyone's healthy.
But no remarks.
No remarks. That was a good close.
I honestly do feel like, I hope everyone's healthy and we'll get
finding
out of this.
What makes them happy.
Exactly.
That's what I think about too. Like I said this on stage last night at the end of my show, but Monday night I got to Chicago, ordered a pizza. And I'm just going to say this to just reiterate it because there was only like 80 people in that showroom. Ordered a pizza. Just before we ordered the pizza, there was some crotchety ass dude that was just really shitty to me outside while I was trying to have a couple puffs of my fucking vape. And I came inside and told my friends about it. And, we just kind of rolled it over. I don't really carry that kind of stuff with me. But it bothered me that I was like, why is everybody being mean now? Like, the world is going through enough. Like, couldn't this teach people to be nice to each other? And then the fucking pizza delivery guy comes, and he has the best attitude of anyone that I've met in weeks. He's so fucking happy that he has a job. We tipped, and he was fucking ecstatic for that. Then we were like, you want to chill and have a beer here, man? And he was like, what? And then he did. And he was like the fucking coolest person. Yeah. And his attitude, and he's a fucking pizza delivery guy. That's so it was just like one of those things where I told the room of the audience last night, I was like, whatever's going on, like be the pizza delivery guy.
Yeah.
Be the guy that affects a room so positively that like those 3 people go and affect a room positively.
Let's do that.
So that's what I'd say.
Be better.
Be better. Okay, bye.